Thanks for joining us at Wood Pellet Vina, your go-to hub for everything happening in the world of wood pellets. In today's session, we're diving into hardwood versus softwood pellets, which is better. Let's listen to this topic. When the winter chill sets in, homeowners around the globe begin searching for the most efficient and cost-effective ways to keep their living spaces warm and comfortable. In recent years, there has been a massive shift towards sustainable heating solutions, with many people adopting alternative energy to reduce their reliance on traditional fossil fuels. Among the most popular and efficient options available today is the humble wood pellet, a tiny cylindrical piece of compressed sawdust and biomass that delivers an incredible amount of heat. However, once you make the decision to upgrade your home heating system to a pellet stove, you are immediately faced with a widely debated question. Should you buy hardwood or softwood pellets? This debate has puzzled beginners and seasoned stove owners alike, primarily because the rules that apply to traditional cordwood do not necessarily apply to manufactured biomass fuel. Traditional firewood wisdom dictates that hardwood logs burn longer and hotter than softwood logs, but the pelletizing process completely rewrites these rules. As you dive deeper into the world of sustainable heating, understanding the nuances of your fuel choice becomes essential for maximizing efficiency, minimizing maintenance, and getting the best return on your investment. Whether you are purchasing your supply from a local hardware store or ordering in bulk from a trusted manufacturer like Wood Pellet Vina, knowing the exact characteristics of the fuel you are putting into your hopper is crucial. In this comprehensive guide, we will break down the science, performance, and practical realities of both options to help you determine which wood pellet is truly the best fit for your home heating needs. 1. Key differences between hardwood and softwood wood pellet varieties. The fundamental differences between a hardwood and softwood wood pellet begin at the cellular level of the source material. Hardwoods, such as oak, maple, and cherry, come from deciduous trees that lose their leaves in the autumn and typically grow at a much slower rate. This slow growth results in a naturally dense cellular structure when the wood is in its natural log form. Softwoods, on the other hand, include coniferous, evergreen trees like pine, spruce, and fir, which grow rapidly and have a much lighter, less dense physical makeup. However, the most critical factor to understand in the realm of alternative energy is that the mechanical pelletizing process completely neutralizes this natural density gap. When raw sawdust and wood chips are pulverized, dried, and forced through a high-pressure die to create a wood pellet, the end product achieves a uniform density regardless of the original tree species. The sheer pressure of the extrusion process compacts the wood fibers so tightly that both hardwood and softwood pellets end up weighing approximately 40 pounds per cubic foot. This means that a bag of softwood pellets contains the exact same amount of combustible mass as a bag of hardwood pellets of the same weight. Therefore, the old cordwood logic, where a dense oak log outlasts a light pine log, simply does not apply to pelletized fuel. Instead of density, the true differences between the two varieties lie in their chemical composition, specifically the presence of naturally occurring resins, sap, and lignins. These chemical elements dictate how the wood pellet ignites, how intensely it burns, and what it leaves behind in your stove's burn pot. As the biomass heating industry continues to evolve, high-quality manufacturers, including industry leaders like Wood Pellet Vina, utilize advanced engineering to ensure that both hardwood and softwood offerings maintain structural integrity and consistent density. Ultimately, understanding that the physical density is equalized during manufacturing is the first and most important step in evaluating which type of fuel will best serve your home heating system. 2. Heat output comparison. Which wood pellet burns hotter? When evaluating any form of alternative energy for home heating, the primary metric of success is the heat output, which is universally measured in British thermal units, BTUs. A common misconception among stove owners is that a hardwood wood pellet will naturally generate more heat because hardwood logs produce hotter, longer-lasting fires in traditional fireplaces. However, the science of compressed biomass tells a completely different story. Softwood pellets actually boast a higher BTU output than their hardwood counterparts, making them the superior choice for raw heat generation. The reason for this thermal advantage is rooted in the chemical makeup of coniferous trees. Softwoods contain significantly higher concentrations of natural resins, saps, and lignins compared to deciduous hardwoods. These organic compounds are highly combustible and burn with intense energy. When compressed into a dense wood pellet, these resins act as built-in accelerants that elevate the combustion temperature. On average, a premium softwood pellet can produce between 10 to 20% more BTUs per pound than a comparable hardwood pellet. This increased heat output translates directly into faster room heating and potentially lower fuel consumption during the coldest months of the year. If you live in an environment that experiences brutal, freezing winters, maximizing your BTU output is paramount, and softwood is scientifically proven to deliver a hotter fire. Conversely, a hardwood wood pellet tends to burn slightly cooler but offers an extremely steady and consistent heat release, which some users prefer for milder climates or transitional seasons. High-tier suppliers like wood pellet Vina rigorously test their products to verify BTU ratings, ensuring that consumers receive the exact heating performance advertised on the bag. Ultimately, if your primary goal in utilizing this form of alternative energy is to extract the maximum amount of heat possible from every single pound of fuel, softwood pellets are the clear and undeniable winner in the heat output comparison. 3. Ash content and maintenance factors for each wood pellet type. While heat output is a critical factor, the amount of ash left behind after combustion is equally important for the daily operation and longevity of your pellet stove. The ash content directly dictates how often you will need to perform maintenance, clean the burn pot, and wipe down the viewing glass. In the world of alternative energy, a cleaner burn equates to higher efficiency and less manual labor for the homeowner. Generally speaking, a softwood wood pellet will produce significantly less ash than a hardwood pellet. This is largely due to the fact that hardwoods contain higher concentrations of naturally occurring minerals and organic impurities within their cellular structure. Furthermore, hardwood raw materials often include a higher percentage of bark, which is the primary source of ash in any wood fuel. Premium softwood, utilizing clean pine or fir sawdust, burns incredibly efficiently thanks to the high resin content, leaving behind a minuscule amount of fine, powdery ash. By choosing a low-ash softwood wood pellet, you dramatically reduce the risk of clinker formation, hard, rock-like deposits that fuse together in the burn pot and restrict airflow. Restricted airflow can choke the fire, reduce efficiency, and potentially cause your stove to shut down automatically. Hardwood pellets, while still much cleaner than traditional cordwood, may require you to empty the ash pan and scrape the burn pot twice as often as a top-tier softwood option. However, it is essential to note that the manufacturing process plays a massive role in final ash content. A super premium hardwood pellet produced by a reputable company will often burn cleaner than a low-quality, big-box store softwood pellet that is full of bark and impurities. Leading producers like Wood Pellet Vina invest heavily in raw material screening and advanced filtration to ensure their products, regardless of wood species, meet strict low-ash standards. Ultimately, if minimizing maintenance and keeping your stove running autonomously for longer periods is your top priority, investing in a high-quality softwood wood pellet is the smartest strategy. 4. Analyzing the cost and availability of your preferred wood pellet. Beyond performance metrics like heat output and ash content, the practical considerations of cost and availability play a major role in determining which wood pellet you ultimately choose for your home. The biomass fuel market is heavily influenced by regional timber industries, meaning the availability of hardwood versus softwood pellets can vary drastically depending on where you live. For instance, in regions with vast coniferous forests, such as the Pacific Northwest of the United States, or certain parts of Canada and Europe, softwood pellets are abundant and often more competitively priced. In contrast, areas dominated by deciduous forests may see a higher prevalence of hardwood options. Because of the lingering myth that hardwood is inherently superior, many retailers price hardwood pellets at a premium, taking advantage of consumers who apply traditional firewood logic to compressed alternative energy. As a result, informed buyers can often secure high-performance softwood pellets for a lower price, getting more BTUs per dollar spent. However, the global supply chain for sustainable fuels has improved significantly, allowing top-tier brands and international suppliers like Wood Pellet Vina to distribute high-quality products across vast geographic regions. When analyzing costs, it is crucial to look past the upfront price per bag or per ton and consider the long-term value. A cheaper, low-quality wood pellet may save you money initially, but if it produces less heat and excessive ash, you will end up burning more fuel to achieve the desired temperature and spending more time replacing prematurely worn stove components. Conversely, spending a little extra on a certified, super premium pellet guarantees maximum efficiency and protects your heating appliance. To optimize your budget, it is highly recommended to purchase your preferred wood pellet in bulk during the spring or summer off-season, when demand is low and retailers offer substantial early bird discounts. By combining strategic purchasing timing with a clear understanding of regional market dynamics, you can secure the best possible fuel for your alternative energy setup without breaking the bank. 5. Expert tips for selecting the right wood pellet for your stove. Selecting the perfect fuel for your pellet stove is not a one-size-fits-all endeavor, and expert guidance can save you from a cold, frustrating winter. The most important tip for choosing the right wood pellet is to always read the label and look for industry certifications. Reputable organizations rigorously test and grade pellets based on moisture content, ash percentage, and BTU output. Choosing a certified wood pellet guarantees that you are buying a product that meets strict quality control standards, ensuring safe and efficient operation of your stove. Another highly recommended strategy is to conduct a personal burn test before committing to a bulk purchase of 3 or 4 tons. Buy a few bags of different brands and species, perhaps a hardwood option, a softwood option, and a blended variety, and observe how they perform in your specific appliance. Pay close attention to how quickly the stove reaches the desired temperature, the color of the flame, the clarity of the glass doors after a long burn, and the volume of ash left in the pan. Every stove has its own unique airflow characteristics and may operate better with a certain type of fuel. Furthermore, the way you store your fuel is just as important as the type you buy. Even the absolute best alternative energy product will become useless if exposed to moisture. Always store your bags in a dry, elevated location, such as a garage or a weatherproof shed, to prevent the pellets from absorbing humidity and expanding back into raw sawdust. Finally, aligning yourself with a trusted and transparent supplier is the best way to guarantee consistency year after year. Renowned companies like Wood Pellet Vina have built their reputations on delivering unwavering quality, ensuring that every bag you open provides the optimal balance of high heat and low maintenance. By prioritizing quality over species, conducting your own burn tests, and properly protecting your fuel supply, you can maximize the benefits of your wood pellet stove and enjoy a warm, stress-free winter season. Frequently asked questions. 1. Question: is it safe to mix hardwood and softwood pellets in my stove? Answer: yes, it is entirely safe to mix them. Many homeowners create their own blends to balance the high heat output of a softwood wood pellet with the steady burn of a hardwood variety. Just ensure both options are of high quality and free of excess moisture. 2. Question: do softwood pellets cause dangerous creosote buildup? Answer: no. That is a common myth carried over from traditional cordwood. Because a manufactured wood pellet has an extremely low moisture content, usually below 8%, both hardwood and softwood options burn cleanly and produce virtually zero creosote, making them a remarkably safe alternative energy choice. 3. Question: are wood pellets environmentally friendly? Answer: absolutely. Using a wood pellet for home heating is considered carbon neutral. They are made from compressed sawdust and recycled wood waste, preventing materials from rotting in landfills while providing a sustainable alternative energy source. Brands like Wood Pellet Vina prioritize eco-friendly sourcing and responsible manufacturing. 4. Question: how long can I store wood pellets before they go bad? Answer: a high-quality wood pellet can be stored indefinitely, as long as it is kept completely dry. Moisture is the only enemy. If stored in a dry, elevated location like a garage or weather-tight shed, your fuel will be ready to burn year after year without losing its heating efficiency. Conclusion: in the ongoing debate between hardwood and softwood pellets, the evidence clearly shows that the old rules of traditional firewood simply do not apply to modern biomass fuels. While both options provide an exceptional source of alternative energy that is far more eco-friendly and efficient than fossil fuels, softwood pellets objectively offer a slight edge in terms of higher heat output and lower ash production due to their natural resin content. However, the most crucial takeaway for any stove owner is that the quality of the manufacturing process vastly outweighs the species of the tree. A super premium hardwood wood pellet will always outperform a poorly manufactured softwood pellet filled with bark and impurities. Ultimately, your goal should be to find a consistently reliable, low moisture, and low ash fuel that works harmoniously with your specific stove model. By testing different varieties, sourcing your supply from reputable manufacturers like Wood Pellet, Vina, and storing your fuel properly, you can guarantee a warm, comfortable, and highly efficient home all winter long. Embrace the power of the modern wood pellet and enjoy the financial and environmental benefits of sustainable heating. Thank you for watching. If you found this information helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more expert insights on the wood pellet industry.